Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will review a book, Brain Rules. Brain Rules by Dr. John Medina is a book that explains 12 principles for improving our thinking and learning based on how our brains work. The book covers topics such as exercise, sleep, stress, memory, vision, music, gender, and exploration. Exercise boosts brain power, physical activity improves blood flow, oxygen levels, and nutrient delivery to the brain. It also stimulates the growth of new brain cells and enhances cognitive functions such as attention, memory, and problem solving. Exercise can also reduce the risk of dementia and depression. Therefore, we should exercise regularly and incorporate movement into our work and school environments. The human brain evolved to survive. Our brains are designed to solve problems related to survival in an unstable outdoor environment while in constant motion. This means that our brains are adaptive, flexible, and responsive to change. It also means that our brains are not well suited for sitting in a classroom or an office for hours. We should create learning and working environments that match our natural abilities and needs. Every brain is wired differently. No two brains are exactly alike because of genetic variations and environmental influences. Our brains are constantly changing and rewiring themselves based on our experiences and interactions. This means that we all have different strengths, weaknesses, preferences, and styles of learning and thinking. We should respect and celebrate our diversity and customize our education and work to fit our individual needs. We don't pay attention to boring things. Attention is the gateway to learning and memory. We can only pay attention to one thing at a time, and we can only sustain it for about 10 minutes before we need a break or a change of stimulus. We also pay more attention to things that are emotionally arousing, surprising, or relevant to us. Therefore, we should design our presentations and lessons to be engaging, interactive, varied, and meaningful. Repeat to remember. Memory is the process of encoding, storing, and retrieving information in the brain. To encode information effectively, we need to pay attention to it and associate it with existing knowledge. To store information for a long time, we need to repeat it or review it periodically. To retrieve information easily, we need to provide cues or contexts that trigger our recall. Therefore, we should use strategies such as mnemonics, stories, images, examples, quizzes, and feedback to enhance our memory. Remember to repeat. Memory is not a one-time event but a continuous process that requires maintenance and reinforcement. The more we repeat something, the more likely we are to remember it. However, repetition alone is not enough. We also need to space out our repetitions over time and vary the way we present the information. This is called spaced repetition or distributed practice. Therefore, we should avoid cramming or massing information in one session but instead spread it out over multiple sessions with different formats. Sleep well, think well. Sleep is essential for brain health and performance. It helps consolidate our memories, clear out toxins from our brains, regulate our emotions, enhance our creativity, and restore our energy levels. Lack of sleep can impair our cognitive functions such as attention, memory, reasoning, problem solving, decision making, and mood regulation. Therefore, we should get enough sleep every night, about 7-9 hours for adults, and avoid disrupting our natural sleep cycles with caffeine, alcohol, screens, or artificial light. Stressed brains don't learn the same way. Stress is the body's response to perceived threats or challenges. It can be beneficial in small doses by enhancing our alertness, motivation, and performance. However, it can be harmful in large doses or chronic exposure by impairing our cognitive functions such as attention, memory, learning, creativity, and problem solving. It can also damage our brain cells and increase the risk of mental disorders such as anxiety and depression. Therefore, we should manage our stress levels by identifying and avoiding unnecessary stressors, coping with unavoidable stressors with positive strategies such as relaxation, exercise, social support, and humor, and seeking professional help if needed. Stimulate more of the senses. Our brains use multiple sensory channels to process information from the world. The more senses we engage, the more likely we are to remember and understand what we learn. This is because sensory stimulation activates more regions of the brain and creates more associations and connections among them. Therefore, we should use multisensory methods to present and learn information, such as using visuals, sounds, movements, smells, or tastes. Vision trumps all other senses. Vision is our dominant sense. It accounts for about half of our brain's resources and influences our perception, attention, memory, and emotions. We are better at remembering pictures than words, especially if they are colorful, vivid, and emotional. We are also better at processing visual information than verbal information, especially if it is organized, clear, and simple. Therefore, we should use visual aids such as graphs, charts, diagrams, maps, images, videos, or animations to enhance our communication and learning. Male and female brains are different. There are biological and behavioral differences between male and female brains that affect their development, cognition, emotions, and social interactions. Some of these differences are influenced by hormones, genes, and chromosomes. Others are influenced by culture, education, and experience. However, these differences are not absolute or fixed. They are more like tendencies or averages that vary among individuals and situations. Therefore, we should not stereotype or discriminate based on gender but rather appreciate and respect the diversity and complexity of human brains. We are powerful and natural explorers. We are born with a natural curiosity and a desire to learn about ourselves and the world around us. We learn best when we are actively involved in exploring our environment, testing our hypotheses, making mistakes, getting feedback, and discovering new things. We also learn best when we are motivated by our own interests, passions, and goals rather than by external rewards or punishments. Therefore, we should foster a culture of exploration and experimentation in our schools and workplaces that encourages inquiry, creativity, and innovation.